JSA, income support, housing benefit, child tax credit and working tax credit. It could be an extremely complex claim process and there are a lot of factors in universal credit. What we have done is we've created a video to try and simplify the process for all people.
What information you will need to claim universal credit. Don't start your application until you have all of the following details for you, your partner and children if you have them. You will need your postcode, your email address, and you will be sent a code to verify your email. You will need your phone number. You will also be sent a code to verify your phone number. You will be asked if you want to be contacted by SMS or email. You will need your national insurance number, details of your bank, building society or credit union account. Type of accommodation you live in, example private rent, council tenant or housing association tenant. How much rent you pay, this can be found on your rent agreement. Ask your landlord for a copy if you do not have one. Do not include your rates as this is a separate online application. You will need your landlord's address. This can be found on your rental agreement. Ask your landlord for a copy if you do not have one. Your landlord's phone number, details of any savings you have, and any other capital investments such as shares or properties that you do not live in. Details of income not from work, for example a pension or an insurance plan. Details of how much you earn from work, example recent payslips. How much you pay for childcare if you want to claim childcare costs. You will need your GP's contact details if your health affects your ability to work. You will need evidence of all these details for when you go to your interview. So you'll need to gather all the documents together, example your landlord's agreement, or a letter from them with your rent amount on it. You will need pay slips, bank statements, etc. Remember to take note of your linking code if you're claiming with a partner. Due to COVID-19, your interview will be done by phone. You will be requested to provide some details to your online journal when you have made the claim.
Now that we've explained the information needed to make a claim, there is a 5-week waiting period before payment as universal credit is carried out in monthly assessments. During this time, you can either apply for a short-term benefit advance loan, and the first repayment of this will be taken from your initial payment of universal credit after 5 weeks. You also have the option of applying to the Universal Credit Contingency Fund, and payment can be made either in the form of a grant or a loan.
The standard allowances of universal credit are based on your personal circumstances. The monthly awards are as follows. If you're single and under 25, the monthly award available may be £342.72p. If you're single and 25 or over, the award is £409.89p. If you're in a couple and you're both under 25, the amount is £488.59p. If you're in a couple and either of you are 25 or over, the amount is £594.04p. Entitlement to universal credit may depend on the amount of income you have, savings over £6,000, and may also depend on your circumstances. For example, whether you have a partner, whether either of you work, have you any dependent children, health conditions or disabilities for any family member, whether you care for someone in receipt of a disability award, or housing costs. There are extra allowances and universal credit for these elements, so you may qualify for more than just a standard allowance.
What if I have a health condition or disability that restricts me from working or looking for work? If you're ill or disabled, you may be able to get an additional amount added to your universal credit. You do not get this additional element straight away. There is usually a waiting period of at least 3 months. To get this additional amount, you must be assessed as having limited capability of work-related activity. You must provide an up-to-date sick note from your GP and keep providing these until you are informed otherwise. During the assessment phase, you will receive a capability to work questionnaire which must be completed and returned to the department by the date stated. You will be asked to attend a medical assessment which will be carried out either face-to-face, via the telephone or paper-based, to determine whether your health condition or disability affects your ability to work, and if so, which element is appropriate for your award. If you are placed in the limited capability for work group, you will receive no extra money and you will have some work-related requirements. If you are placed in the limited capability for work and work-related activity group, you will receive an extra £341.92 per month, be exempt from the benefit cap and have no claimant commitments.
What happens if I need help with housing costs through Universal Credit? Firstly, we will discuss private rental. If you're living in a privately rented property, you will be subject to local housing allowance rates. That determines how much assistance you will get through Universal Credit, dependent on how many bedrooms you need, and also depending on which area you live in. Secondly, there's a matter of non-dependent deductions. What this is if you have another adult living in your household and they are not dependent on you and not in receipt of a disability benefit such as PIP, DLA or retention allowance, there will be a non-dependent deduction each month of £75.15. This will be taken from your housing cost payment of Universal Credit. Finally, I would like to discuss bedroom tax. Bedroom tax applies to social housing, which is housing associations or housing executive homes. Bedroom tax is a deduction taken from your monthly rent amount. What it is, if you are under occupying your property by one bedroom, you will be responsible to pay 14% of your monthly rent amount. If you're under occupying by 2 bedrooms or more, you will be responsible to pay 25% of your monthly rent amount. This is deducted from your Universal Credit. Now, this is currently being mitigated against, so what happens? You then received payments from the Welfare Reform Supplementary Team, which is paid directly to your landlord.
Universal Credit has different rules for earned income and unearned income. Unearned income is money you have coming in that you don't earn from working. Example, contribution-based ESA, carers allowance, private pension or rental income from property that you own. If you have any unearned income like this, your Universal Credit will be reduced by the same amount that you get. Example, if you receive a private pension of £75 per month, your Universal Credit will be reduced by £75 per month. Earned income is money that you earn from work, so your wages. Universal Credit only counts 63% of your earnings as income, and some households can earn some money without their Universal Credit being reduced at all. If you have children or if you or your partner has an illness or disability, which means that you have limited capability for work, you will be given a work allowance. This is an amount of money you can earn each month without it affecting your Universal Credit. So there are 2 work allowances. The lower work allowance is if you claim housing costs, example rent, as part of your Universal Credit claim, and it is £292 per month. This means the first £292 that you earn each month is ignored or disregarded, and for every pound that you earn over that, you'll have 63p deducted from your Universal Credit award. The higher work allowance is given to people who have children or who have limited capability for work and who don't claim for help with housing costs, and it's £512 per month. If you have earned income and you're not responsible for a child or you don't have limited capability for work, then you won't qualify for a work allowance, and your Universal Credit monthly allowance will be reduced by 63% of your monthly earnings.
My name is Peter Anderson. I am the appeals representative, and I'm going through the appeal and the mandatory reconsideration process associated with Universal Credit. I would always advise any customer who have been turned down for Universal Credit to lodge a mandatory reconsideration. Why is that necessary? Because before you can appeal Universal Credit, you must make a mandatory reconsideration. It's compulsory. Furthermore, mandatory reconsiderations will and can change the actual decision. Now, should the mandatory reconsideration decision come back no change, then you will come back to Dove House and we will begin the formal appeal process. And rest assured, regarding the actual appeal process, whilst it is quite daunting, I or my colleagues will be with you every step of the way. The appeal process for other social security benefits is quite good insofar that anything between 30 to 55% of appeals are actually successful. So work out the mathematics. It's worth your while to lodge an appeal. And also, can I reassure you, you will not be alone. Myself, my colleagues will be there to help you.